All right, welcome everyone. I am here today with Jessica Stirewalt. She told me to put a little slang in there, a little twang, who is an executive coordinator with us with our Market America business and one of our Shop Financial elite representatives. So Jess, great to have you with us. Thanks for taking some time today.
Absolutely happy to be here. And thank you for the introduction. And because I got to keep it with the country slang, we always say hi, y'all.
Hi, y'all. Okay, I like that. Well, let's talk about a couple things, Jess. How were you introduced to Market America to begin with? This is really, we want to make this so it's a nice thing for our representatives and maybe their customers to learn from. So tell us, how were you introduced to the company initially?
So I actually was introduced to Market America through the debt shredder. I didn't know Market America existed until well into my journey being an unfranchised owner. I know that sounds crazy, but my sponsor really learned who I was and spoke to me, the numbers person, and got me interested in the program and then transitioned into Market America. So having this division at your fingertips, it allows you to open that door for those numbers people in your life to start there and then shift them into the business as a whole.
Okay, so you really started, if I'm hearing correctly, to do Shop Financial and the debt shredder on its own. You didn't think about the rest of the company and all the other divisions and things we have. And then from there, you sort of morphed into being what you are now, which is that well-rounded unfranchised owner who majors in Shop Financial, but uses the rest of the business as well to build her business.
Exactly. Oh. And it was funny. The first month that I had to place an order, my sponsor was like, yeah, you need to buy some products. And I was like, health and wellness? Why am I buying health and wellness products when I'm trying to get my hands on debt shredder? That doesn't make sense. So, but again, like I said, she spent the time building that relationship and really getting to know who I was. And that's why, for me, that's a part of the reason why I've stayed for as long as I have through everything, is because Shop Financial has been my driving force. But the longer I stayed, the more plugged in I became, the more I realized what I was sitting on. And that just solidified it for me is okay, there's more to this than just Shop Financial, which I love. And you guys know this is my passion. But the business, man, that's what keeps me moving.
Now, let me ask you a question. Just what's your background that led you to be intrigued with debt shredder to begin with?
So I have 21 years experience in the financial realm. I've done everything from banking to the Federal Reserve. I had a contract with them for a while. I do taxes still to this day, 19 years solid, both personal and business. But when my sponsor met me, I was in the credit world. So I was dealing with a lot of credit issues and a lot of money management issues, which is why they were in my seat, So the credit piece is really what opened the door for me to be looking for something like Shop Financial.
Oh, that's great. Okay, good. So you got a really well-rounded background financially with everything, which is tremendous, and I'm sure helps you as an elite representative. Now, as we talk about that, our elite representatives, we have about 10 of them in the company, and they're obviously what it sounds like. They're the best of the best, and you are one of the best of the elites, Jess, as I have told you in the past. And how did you decide to become an elite representative? That was before my time working with you, really. So how did that all come about?
It was. So I knew the minute I started getting involved in the company that elite status was where I wanted to go. And the reason why is because I knew the potential of what this program and this division had the ability to do and create for people. But I also was seeing in the field the objections and the myths and the false information or the fear of the unknown. And for me, that was like, I knew that if I could get into that elite status, I could get more involved in the field and really start changing the way people perceived this division. And that's actually what was driving me to become an elite in the first place.
Wow. How long have you been an elite agent now?
So December of 2019 is when I got the phone call.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually 2 days before Christmas.
It was your Christmas present that year, huh?
Yeah. So that's when I got the call saying that it was official. I was an elite agent.
Wow. So let's stay on that elite agent part of it. What does an elite agent do, with the company and with the field?
So essentially, our responsibility is to help other field reps have more success with this division. It's really what we're there for. We're to help people understand this division better, to help them understand the program better and the value behind what it brings to the table. Because a lot of people, when you look at this business, Jim, we've got 12 divisions. People could come into this business and go complete squirrel or chicken, like JR likes to. I was that chicken. When I first got into everything, I went complete chicken. And it was because of JR that he kind of brought me back into the mix of things and was like, you need to be a goose. And I was like, okay, yes, sir, I need to be a goose. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, there's a segment, it's called Chicken Duck Goose, that JR did back in 2020. It's worth watching, I swear. So that was what caused me to kind of regroup and focus back on Shop Financial. But the responsibility really lies in helping more people not become that jack of all trades, master of none. The understanding they just need to understand enough to be successful with this, because then they get to leverage us as elites to help them.
Oh, I love it. So if I'm a Shop Financial representative right now, let's say I'm that, not a customer, but I'm a little nervous talking to people. I've got some good potential people to talk to about this, but I'm nervous to do it. Could I call someone like yourself or another elite representative and say, hey, would you do this with me?
Absolutely. There's 2 places that you can find this information in the Shop Financial Facebook group that we have. It's Shop Financial Representatives Group. Hugh does an amazing job of keeping that list up to date, but there's also that mentorship that you can click on and ask for assistance there too. I honestly would suggest using an elite, because we have that experience of talking to people and giving you, it's just like with the business. You don't ever share the plan by yourself, but you don't ever start the conversation by yourself either. You ask your mentors, your senior business partners, your sponsor for that assistance. That's essentially what we want you to view us as well. We are just that mentor to give you that verbiage and those key words to use to move them into that next step.
Oh, I love that. And I agree with it, by the way, completely. I really feel like every Shop Financial representative should do at least the first 4 meetings with an elite representative, because they can sit and they can take notes and they can learn while they're doing it, and explain how a sales assist works. So if I work with you, again, you're my elite representative. I've said, okay, Jess, help me with Tom over here. You're putting in time and effort and stuff like that. So how does that work? Do I still get paid as well if Tom buys the Debt Shredder program?
So Jim, I have to say the Sales Assist program is the best thing Market America could have ever given the field. And the reason why is because not only do you get paid, but you get paid for potentially minimal work and effort. Seriously. So with the Sales Assist, you get 600 BV because that's your customer. You don't lose.
I don't have to give it to you.
Nope.
Yeah,
you don't lose
any all the time. Just keep going.
Yeah, you don't lose any of the BV, but you also get half of the retail profit. So on a normal sell, it's 1,400. Essentially with Sales Assist, you're just splitting it. And you don't even have to worry about that. Corporate takes care of that for us. So we both get paid without having to worry about, well, are you going to pay me? Am I going to pay you? Then we have to do a 1099, and nope, corporate takes care of all of that.
Oh, beautiful. So I'm going to repeat this. So I introduce you to someone I want to work with. I'm there with you because I need to be with you to learn and do it. It's not just handing them off. But
you can do both.
I can do both, but probably I guess I'd come from my perspective. I want to learn, right?
Right.
So then I'm still going to you're going to do the analysis and sort of, you're teaching me while you're talking with them. I always say that goes back to, like you said, showing the plan. When I'm showing the plan, I feel like I'm showing the prospect, but teaching the other person as well.
Exactly.
And I'm going to get the 600 BV for the sale. I'm going to get half the retail profit, which happens to be $700. And then you would make $700 on that.
Correct.
For your effort as well. Oh, I love it. It's a great way. And, I always say much better to get 100% of 700 than 100% of 0. Because I see a lot of people, one of the mistakes they make, they're like, well, I just want to do it all on my own. And I want to get that $1,400. Well, that's great. But if 100% of 0 is 0, learn, get better, and then continue to grow with us like that.
And to that point, Jim, I see that a lot in the field because again, it's $1,400. Who doesn't want to make $1,400, right? But then what happens is they go out here by themselves and try to do it. And then after 2, 3, 4, even 5 people, they haven't made anything. And they're like, well, Debt Shredder doesn't work. No, that's not true.
Right.
You don't know what you're supposed to be doing to move them through the process and close that client.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of bringing in Elite and that extra credibility and experience.
Well,
right?
I know you've worked with a number of my teammates, as a number of the Elite agents have, and really made a huge difference for them in not only the business, but in moving Debt Shredders to retail customers to becoming business partners. Some of the people who are looking to be a client ended up becoming business partners. Tell me, one of your favorite stories, Jess, you have about helping somebody. Can you name one?
I was going to say, oh my God, I have to choose one. I will say probably my all-time favorite client. They are unfranchised owners, which unfranchised owners or not, doesn't make a difference for me. It's the human being that they are, right? Yeah. So this client, in the beginning, the wife had been introduced to me through another unfranchised owner. The husband was completely against having a conversation with me. Even went to his senior and went to corporate trying to avoid having to talk to me. So, and I love Stacey. They ended up coming right back to me, which was great. Now the husband loves me. But it took them going through the process and actually breaking down all those barriers that they had built up because of all the negative emotions that we're taught to look at our debt with, right? All the judgment and the shame and all the humility and everything. Like they had all of that. And we had to tear all of that down to really get to the debt side so that I could help them. And then once I did, I ran a very conservative analysis because that's one thing about me. I don't like, the whole saying under promise and over deliver. That's me. I don't like over promising and under. Yeah. So everything I do is very, very, very conservative. And so, Jim, I was taking credit cards and I think they had a car loan and almost a brand new mortgage because they had just refinanced a few months prior to talking to me. I took all of that and conservatively, I was going to have them done in 12.9 years.
Wow.
That was not even 2 years ago.
30-year mortgage.
Almost a brand new 30-year. Yeah. Yep. Down to 12.9 years with, again, minimal discretionary. So since then, obviously, I've gotten updates from them, right? So
one of the great things about our I'll call it our back office with Shop Financial, but where we can see how the numbers are changing as we pay a little bit more or do a little bit more.
Exactly. And so just all of the emotions that they have with this program and the headway that they've made within 6 months, they called me and they were like, so Jess, that 12.9 years, that was cute. We're now down to 7.9 in only 6 months. Wow. So they had already paid off like 18 grand in credit card debt. And for the first time in their 20 something years of being married, they had a savings, an actual savings. It's beautiful. But now here we are. Well, seriously, now here we are almost 2 years in, and they've added more debt, and his car died. He went and bought a new car, Jim, and instead of it adding, so they were down to 3.1 years at this point, right? Even though they added more debt, still down in 3.1 years. Adding a new car, it only added 7 months to their total payoff.
Yeah, and they're aware of how to do it and what to do. And the way the Debt Shredder works is beautiful, obviously. You and I have talked about that. Using all the financial algorithms and all the different things it does and time value of money, everything with that. So I love that. That's a great story of many I've heard over the last few years as I've been working so closely with the Elite agents and the Elite representatives. Jess, let's wrap this up a little bit. And let me ask you one final question. This has been wonderful, by the way. Thank you for taking time to meet with me. But what would be a final word of advice for a new Shop Financial representative? What would your final words be for them?
Honestly, one, don't be afraid to reach out. Find an Elite that you seem to mesh with and are on the same line, same lane, same understanding, and build a relationship with them because we are going to be what helps you through the process and really help set you up for success because that's what, as Elites, that's what we want, right? So first and foremost, just don't be afraid to reach out. That's what we're here for.
I think that's great advice. And I'll put a link to when we put this out on where they can maybe reach and send an email to get a hold of an elite. I appreciate you taking time to do this, Jess. I know we're both got a lot going on, and I know you just got off with a client to jump on with me. I was texting you, you're running late. But as we always say, you got to do what you got to do, right? So,
Yep.
and for those of you who are wondering, for an elite representative, there are requirements to become one in terms of being able to talk about the program, retail the program, the ability to want to help people. We meet every couple weeks together. We discuss what's going on with the program and how we can help more people. They're really sort of the sounding board to bring back from what's going out there to me and to the corporate team to help us do a better job for you. So appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day. I hope this was helpful for anybody watching, and we'll look forward to you getting a hold of some of your elite representatives and getting some of these dead shredder sales moving for yourself and enjoying what Jess is talking about. Take care. Thank you, Jess.